We're reviewing a couple ladder games I played recently here. This one I played Zerg versus Random. My opponent tells me that they spawned as Zerg, but I don't actually know what they spawned as for real until I see their Overlord passing mine in the middle of the map. So my plan is to not really worry about all-ins, just take an expansion and play the Zergling Baneling game for as long as I need and try to transition to Roaches. I don't think I do that very well this game, because I don't really follow up on keeping an eye on what my opponent's doing. So that's my opponent up there, this one's me. I play Hatch Gas Pool, which is not completely safe for Zerg versus Zerg if they're doing a super cheesy all-in. But, you know, they took their gas in their pool at a reasonable time and get their hatchery afterwards. They're not doing anything that cheesy, so my build's actually okay if I do it right. I think at some point I just kind of lose track of what is going on here. I am kind of speeding through this one because it's Zerg versus Zerg. It's a lot about controlling your army well and making sure that you actually see what your opponent's doing. I do get over here say, hey, there's no natural. I wonder if this means they're pulling lings in their main base because I didn't see any go on the map. Oh yes, there they are. Okay, but they're taking expansion behind this, so that means they're intending to maybe do something else later, or possibly just using the expansion as production to get more lings. So you see I have a much bigger army than they do at the moment, but we're both on Zergling Baneling, so if you look away from your army for 1 second to do something else, and they are moving in, it can end up destroying a lot of your army. I think that happens to me multiple times this game. What I really could do to do this better is to make an actual wall up here with maybe some spines, like probably up here, and let them just throw away their Zergling Baneling forever while I get some more drones. See, I've already started making drones down here, but they're not safe because I don't have enough Zerglings to keep this from happening. If I keep going away and macroing, every time I do that, my opponent sends an army and does this. I think this happens on repeat a few times, and that's basically the end of this game, because I'm still making more Zerglings and Banelings instead of making a wall here to stay safe to actually get the roaches up. So yeah, that took out a bunch of my lings. They hunt down my Banelings with individual Zerglings there. I really don't have enough here, I can't keep that drone safe. They even get into my main a little bit, but I do have a good wall here at least. But they just keep making Zerglings, and every time I try to make drones, they're making more army. So their army keeps being larger than mine, even though I'm trying to get up a bigger economy. I do eventually make a spine here. This needs to be here like 2 minutes ago, though. And really, I should just make some evolution chambers up here. Make a queen, stick it on hold position there. And then this pressure just ends. But because I don't do that, they keep getting into my base, they keep killing the workers I'm making. They're still really only on one base economy. They haven't made a single drone to their natural here. They're mining it just barely enough on their main base. Even if I could have, you know, a wall off right here, that would be pretty good, because I can just put my army units there. That should be all I need, you know? Stick a few Banelings in front of my Zerglings, and it should be okay. Oh, that was so terrible. I didn't even see that live in game. Wow, that was terrible. They just traded like 3 Banelings for my whole army. So I got a few roaches up, but this needs to be more to actually combat this. I just get surrounded. Eventually this wins them the game. So go ahead and look at the next thing. After this, just really zoom through the end. I keep having not enough numbers of roaches. They get my natural. It's just a formality that they'll win the game. So my next one here. Look at another Zerg versus Zerg. Seems like I've seen a ton of that on the ladder just in the last few times I've been playing. So again, I'm playing Hatch Gas Pool and not worrying about all-ins. I know this one is Zerg versus Zerg. It's not Zerg versus Random like the previous one. I actually do really like this map. I've played it on a few times now, and it seems pretty good. Most people actually are saying they like this map, so that's cool. It's got a relatively standard layout, I would say. This definitely helps. And then some of these destructible rocks you can do for new paths. I'm really bad at holding the watchtowers here. That's true on all maps though, not just this one. So I do position my pool here to try to stick a queen if I need it for defense, which I don't know if I end up doing or not. Haven't seen any early Zerglings, so I'm thinking I'm not getting rushed unless they are coming down the path this way. But when I get up here, I see all my opponents already get their expansion up, so it's okay. They're even building a spine, which implies they aren't planning to attack very soon. Because you don't build a spine crawl if you're planning to go attack your opponent. If you're attacking your opponent, their Zerglings are going to be forced to stay on their side of the map to defend anyway, so you don't need a spine crawler. So they're getting some drones here. I'm getting some drones here. I only built the initial 4 Zerglings. Didn't even send them across the map because I saw the spine crawler. But the thing is, I don't keep close enough track to what my opponent is doing in this game. So after they do this and get just these handful of drones, they then make so many Zerglings they can come and do run-by and get some Banelings into my base. See? Call those Zerglings. So they're doing this just delayed Zergling aggro, and I never followed up on that. So I do make another queen, which is useful, but they could be positioned better if I was paying more attention to these Zerglings coming in and all the Banelings. See, I even sent my Zerglings over here and didn't even catch that they're morphing Banelings right there. To get up here, there's some queens. I'm going to try to get roaches. Oh no, all the Banelings. I tried to run my drones. Unfortunately, the Banelings still connect with a lot of them. You see, I don't have my queen on hold position here. They got my drones all with that attack because I just did not actually follow up and see what they were doing after that very initial scout. I sort of make fun of myself here. Oh, top 5 control NA with that one. GG. So, then I finally play a Terran. First non-Zerg versus Zerg I've had in like 5 or 6 games. This is a map I've been playing on for a couple seasons now. I guess this is the 2nd season with this one in the pool. It's another one that's super standard. Like this map too. It does have one of the larger main bases like some of the maps have been having lately, so I try to creep that up a little bit. Again, I'm playing Hatchcast Pool just in all my matchups. So I feel confident enough against the super early rushes. The things I have to watch out for are the delayed timings and like actually follow up and see what my opponent's actually doing. So you see this SCV is out here real early. But in game, I did not see that because my Overlord is only over here, not up there. So they're making a barracks. I assume they start a second one here too. Yep. So their plan is going to be to bunker rush me. Oh, even the 3rd barracks? Jeez. That's a lot of barracks right where my 3rd base would be, pretty much. So that's a real short walk over to the natural, which, you know, playing Hatchcast Pool, so that's going to be up. And it takes a long time for an Overlord to get across this map. My goodness, that is 3 racks real early. So my expansion isn't up yet, so they're going to be able to start a bunker here and I won't have vision yet until it actually finishes, and even then I don't know if I will yet. Yeah, see, not quite there. So once it pops, I see it's just at the edge of my vision. Oh hey, there's bunkers here. Well, I'm pretty sure I can get at a queen before whatever they've made. If they're making 2 bunkers, that means they haven't spent enough on marines or been able to produce enough of them that they can kill this before my queen finishes. So I do go ahead and start my queen. I start making Zerglings. My plan is just run the Zerglings up the ramp here until I can get enough numbers. I did start a Roach Warren as soon as I realized that there were bunkers here, because I'm going to need to bust out, so I will need to do that. Plan is here, just make Zerglings to put at the top of the ramp and hopefully be safe from the Marines. And let the natural die, but have the Queen come up the ramp. I do set Creep Tumor here, so if they don't kill that, I at least keep some more vision down on the low ground as to what's going on. Because I can't really send an Overlord over here. The Marines will Marines shoot up so they can get rid of it. Unfortunately, that supply blocked me.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
They do kind of aggro my Zerglings a couple times, so I didn't put them on hold position at the top of the ramp like I really should. That was kind of poor, the ones down there. It's alright though. Like, they send a SCV up here trying to aggro some units down for the Marines to get it, but I realize and pull it back. I do start creeping up my main, because I know one of the things I can try to do later is send flying units in after this attack. But I see they've committed so much to this, they're not going to have any attack behind it yet. So they're still trying to aggro me down this ramp. I'm not trying to go down, follow them, get my Zerglings all massacred or whatever. I just want to stay up on the high ground until I can get enough roaches that I can actually just go down and bust what they have down here. Okay, so we can go back to everyone cam. Are they flying the barracks over here? Yep. So yeah, like I held position some of the roaches here. I eventually realized I need to do that with all the roaches. It's not the biggest of deals if the Zerglings die. I didn't even get Zergling speed because I knew there wasn't going to be time for that before this attack was defended, and I really need the roaches to stop the attack, so they all cost more gas. So I'm starting to get enough roaches I can engage the Marines, but I really want to get like 10 roaches, 12 roaches, something like that, and maybe make a couple into Ravagers so I can bile down these bunkers quickly. Can also use bile to help positioning with the ramp here. If they try to come up it, you shoot the bile on the ramp and just back up and hope for their Marines will walk into it if they're not paying attention and controlling properly. But here I just go down and get rid of the bunkers. That basically ends this rush. I do get concerned that maybe they made a starport behind this, so I build some detection. Build a couple of spore crawlers and some more queens, because I think, oh well, a Banshee would be a pretty good follow-up here. But I guess that's not what my opponent's doing. They made a factory, and I don't know. Flying these barracks home. They leave this one out here scouting. So I'm pretty sure we're playing a low economy versus low economy game currently, because my Overlord here still sees that there's no natural landed. My Overlord here is actually a little bit too far away to see this base, but I could move it up and see if they've taken that base, because that would be actually a kind of smart play for them, since it's common for a Zerg to keep an Overlord here to see this base. You know, if they take this one instead and land it, maybe get some more economy that way. It is more exposed, but at the same time, I'm less likely to be able to see it without watering my army over there, which I might not be able to do if they're sending Banshees to my base. So I do make some spores here, because Banshees or Liberators or something could be the next follow-up, I think. Didn't see that in game, but wow, they went right past my Overlord with the barracks there. So I guess he never flying home with those. If I just get enough units, I go, okay, I'm going to go across the map and see what's going on. I don't want to lose this Overlord before I get here, because ideally I would send it to spot the high ground. I'm not sure if I actually do that, or if I just go up the ramp and don't worry about it. Alright, so they have a siege tank. Well, Corrosive Bile is pretty good against siege tanks, but really you need to have the high ground vision to hit it. You know, I could put my army here and hit them with the Corrosive Biles if I have the vision up there, but let's see what actually happens when I get over here. And my cam? No. Alright, so right, I'm going back and doing all my pre-attack stuff, clear out their barracks, hit my injects. Alright, so I've got my injects hit. Now I can go engage up here. Oh hey, look, they're trying to land their command center. Good timing. I should really wait a second for my Ravagers to get their Biles back before I go up the ramp. I don't. So they get shot. Yeah, see, I just walk up the ramp blind. That's kind of bad. If I do bile down the depot, I get right on top of the one siege tank, target it, target the other. And I go, well, all I need to do here is destroy the tech lab so they can't make more tanks, and I don't think that they can win anymore. And that turns out to be the case. They GG.